The San Francisco 49ers are headed to the Super Bowl. And man, there are so many things to like about this football team, the 49ers. I'll be honest, in the preseason, I believe that the 49ers were building something. I've really been talking for a long time about the 49ers, and I've said, like, at some point, this team's going to make a run to the Super Bowl. However, I was wrong about one thing. I thought they were going to do that next year. I thought they needed one more year to keep gelling and keep building what they're building. And go watch my NFL predictions video about the 49ers. I said they're going to be, I can't remember what I predicted. It was like 6-10 or something stupid. And they just proved me wrong. And their Super Bowl run has come a year earlier than they thought was possible. But man, I'm so happy I'm wrong. There are two things I love the most about this team. Number one is that the 49ers have great people involved in their franchise. The general manager, John Lynch, and the head coach, Kyle Shanahan, they seem like great dudes, but they came to San Francisco with a mission and a plan to turn things around. And man, they made it happen. It's so cool to me. Like John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, they have built an incredible football team, an incredible program, fully young players. I mean, it feels like there's going to be a lot of longevity here too. It's like, man, they really turned around the 49ers, and now they've gotten to the Super Bowl. That's so awesome to me. That leads me to the second thing I love about the 49ers, which is the way they were built. The way they were built is so impressive. First of all, it all started when they traded for, it started really when they hired John Lynch as general manager. We'll come and circle back to that. But when they traded for Jimmy Garoppolo, and, he went on a 5-game stretch, was phenomenal in his first year at the end of the year, and then they took a chance. The 49ers gave Jimmy Garoppolo a massive, massive contract, and bam, they had a franchise quarterback. They traded a second-round pick for him, gave him like $137 million. It was kind of outrageous at the time. And the 49ers, that's how they got their franchise quarterback. It was a gutsy move, and it's really, really paid off a lot for the 49ers. But I want to take you back to 2015 and 2016. In both of those years, the 49ers' first-round pick was a defensive end from Oregon. It was Eric Armstead and then DeForest Buckner. And right after that, in 2017, January, John Lynch became the general manager of the San Francisco 49ers. And he was well aware of the fact that the last 2 first-round picks were defensive ends. But then he doubled down on the defensive line. John Lynch has said, I am going to draft linemen. I'm going to build a great offensive line. I'm going to build a great defensive line. That is how we're going to win. And in 2017, with the first-round pick, John Lynch drafted Solomon Thomas. And then in 2018, he continued to build their team up front. He drafted a tackle out of, I'm so sorry I'm blanking on his name right now. The guy out of Notre Dame, Mike McGlinchey. Is he Notre Dame? They drafted Mike McGlinchey. He's been phenomenal. Then in 2019 NFL draft, their second overall pick in the first round, they drafted Nick Bosa, defensive end out of Ohio State. And then they continued to pick up more defensive linemen. They traded for the Chiefs defensive end and former first-round pick Dee Ford. So, man, the 49ers doubled, tripled, even quadrupled down on, we are building our football team up front. They drafted offensive linemen. They drafted defensive linemen. They have an embarrassment of riches, especially on the defensive line. And they have 5 first-round picks on the defensive line, the 49ers do. It's ridiculous. And it's paid off for them, man. Their defensive line has carried them a long way and made it look easy throughout the playoffs, man. It's awesome. It's really, really awesome. And then you got to really give credit. This is what's cool. They're playing in the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. Dee Ford used to be a Kansas City Chief, and they didn't want to give him a big contract, so the Chiefs traded him to San Francisco with the 49ers. He might get a chance to have revenge against his former team. Are you kidding me? That's a cool story right there. And so, I'm from the Northwest. All my friends are Seattle Seahawks fans. And so, as a guy, I live in the Portland area. And I think I'm not supposed to like the 49ers. All my friends love the love the Seahawks, and they're Russell Wilson fans. But I don't have a favorite team. I love football. And I so much admire the 49ers and the way they built their team, especially the way they built their defensive line. The 49ers said again, the way we're going to win is by dominating teams up front. They built an offensive line. They built a defensive line. They got their franchise quarterback. They got a great head coach. Kyle Shanahan is a genius with offensive schematics. And man, has it paid off. I'm so happy for them. And, man, I love the offensive system the 49ers run. They use a lot of motion and a lot of movement pre-snap to create good matchups. They run the ball so well. I love their quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. I love it, man. I really do. I'm so happy for the 49ers. I do got to mention, I can't talk about the 49ers without saying these two things, is that I'm talking a million. I'm having a hard time slowing down because I'm so excited about this. The 49ers quarterback is Jimmy Garoppolo, and he used to be a member of the New England Patriots. And a couple of years ago, the Patriots decided to invest in Tom Brady and get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo and move on from Jimmy Garoppolo. And how interesting would it be if this offseason, Tom Brady left the Patriots and it happened only a month or two after his former backup Jimmy Garoppolo won a Super Bowl with a different football team. That's a story that's cool. Good for Jimmy Garoppolo, man. I can't imagine the pressure he felt, maybe even in New England, like, am I going to have to replace Tom Brady? He didn't have to. He got to go to another team, and he might still get a Super Bowl, and he's playing great. I'm happy for Jimmy Garoppolo. It's awesome. If the 49ers won the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be disappointed at all. They have great people. They have a great story. I really am. I love it, man. I do got to add one more thing. I wasn't planning to, but it is important. If the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes gets injured in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs are screwed. They have no chance to win. But if Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt, as great as Jimmy Garoppolo is, he's incredible. He's a big reason why they're winning games. The 49ers would be okay because they do have a really good backup. His name is Nick Mullins. He's a great dude, but Nick Mullins has played before. He played last year when Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt, and he played great when he had his moment. And I believe that that's a thing to look forward to, not look forward to, but maybe pay attention to, is if by some horrible tragedy Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt in the Super Bowl. Nick Mullins, I believe, is the kind of guy who would step up in a big moment and play well. When Nick Mullins, if he ever gets his opportunity, he will be ready. I don't know if that's going to play out in the Super Bowl or not. We might never, ever hear Nick Mullins' name at all in the Super Bowl. But do be aware that the 49ers have a really good backup. They have the guy from Iowa, Nick, what's his name? I forget his name. And they have Nick Mullins, and they have the guy from Iowa. The other guy, I can't remember. He's got the big beard. I'm blanking on his name right now. I have none of this is prepared. I don't have any. I'm so sorry. But remember, though, the 49ers do have a really quality backup, Nick Mullins. So I'm excited to watch it. It's going to be fun. I don't know. If the 49ers win, I would not be disappointed at all.